the question, who am I, is a purely scientific question, where science means to investigate our experience and to investigate the world we live in. And here is the difference between, there is two different approaches in the Western approach and the Eastern approach to this question. And Western science has not really concerned itself too much with consciousness or who I am, but Western science takes it for granted that there is a subject that can observe the world. So Western science starts out with saying, oh, hey, here is an extremely fascinating world. What's going on here? Here is planets and stars and mountains and flowers and animals and human beings and all amazing things is going on here. And so let's start investigating what is happening. How does this all work? And so then we have developed Western science with an amazing knowledge into the natural world of different phenomena. But it's still based on a model that the subject, the person, is able to stand outside of this reality and observe it. And then you paint yourself into a corner because you cannot exclude yourself from reality. You cannot stand, there is no place to stand outside of reality and observe it, because I am a part of the reality. So this question has been not impressingly been dealt with, neither in Western philosophy or in science. It's just been taken for granted. There is this subject that can observe the world. So in the East, they have taken a completely different approach, because they have said, okay, well, fair enough, there is this amazing world out there, and it would be really nice to find out how it works, but how can I know anything about the world if I don't know who I am? How can I know anything about the world if I don't know who I am, who is observing and experiencing the world? So they turned the question inwards instead and said, well, I better find out who I am first, and then we can start talking about the world, or the external world, or wherever the world is. Because it looks like the world is outside there somewhere, but, actually, the world is in me. If you take a hard look on it, you think that you're seeing these glasses that I hold in my hand. It kind of looks like they're in my hand, but in fact, the glasses are in my mind. And anything, you have a sensation, you have a smell, it's all happening in the mind. So the mind is like this computer screen or TV screen or film screen where everything is happening. So we think that there is an external world out there, but in fact, everything goes on in my mind. Life is a state of mind. So this is what happened in the East. And so therefore, they developed, as much as you could say that the West has an external science, the East developed an internal science. And then finding out that who am I is actually discovering just as much the external world, and it's just actually the same question of finding out what is reality, but there is just two different approaches, and looking outside or looking inside. So the interesting thing today is that Western science and Eastern approaches is really merging, because Western science doesn't really, if you go into physics, the theoretical physics and so on, they don't actually believe in the materialistic model anymore, because if you investigate molecules and atoms and pre-atomic particles, you come to energy and you finally come to nothing. And so the whole materialistic concept actually dissolves theoretically, that everything consists of energy and everything is actually coming out of nothing, coming out of oneness. And but science has not so far been able to take the consequence of this, that actually what everything comes out of is existence and is a consciousness. But which is what the East has been saying all along. So you could say that yoga is the science of the East, and science is the yoga of the West, where yoga meaning to unite the individual consciousness with the universal consciousness, or basically finding out who we are. So two different approaches, the Western approach and the Eastern approach.